Hello and welcome to the first in our hip strengthening series. What we're going to do today, this is a fairly short workout. I'm going to do some warm-up joint mobility work, and then I have 3 hip strength exercises for you to do, and then we'll do a little bit of stretching, but everything's going to be focused on hips. So we're going to start with that for our warm-up. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Spread your feet out, and we're just going to press our hips from side to side. So one thing you want to be thinking about as you're going back and forth like this is that you're getting motion through your legs, so it isn't your hips moving like this, but actually your hips are staying really as parallel as you can have them to the ground, and that your knees, that your legs are rotating, or not rotating, but are shifting laterally. So carrying your hips back and forth. Doing these joint mobility warm-ups are really important because they start to get blood flow going to the area and get us ready to do the work that we're going to do. I think numbers wise, when we're doing these warm-ups, 8 to 10 per side is just the right amount. If you need more though, go ahead and feel free to do more. The next thing we're going to do are some rotation warm-ups. So this is called open the gate. We're going to bring one knee forward and then back around and then switch to the other side. So same thing, 8 to 10 on each side for these warm-ups, starting to get that mobility through the joint, starting to work on the range of motion in that joint. So it's ready to, our hip joints are ready to add the strength component of our workout. All right, and then the next thing we're gonna do is, first we were opening the gate, now we're going to close the gate. So we're gonna bring that knee around, we're gonna go back and bring it forward. So kind of like we were stepping over a fence if we were walking forward. Excellent. And if you need, on any of these warm-ups or any of these exercises, there are some balance components at some points. So if you need to put your hand on a wall or a chair or have something nearby, that is great. I encourage you to try not to use it, like have it there where you need it and it's ready if you need it, but for the most part, that you are relying on your own balance as you're going through these workouts. One piece of equipment that is going to be really helpful for you when we're doing these, if you're starting today and you don't have one of these, it's fine. You can do this exercise without the band, but I recommend the mini bands. And you get them, they usually, when you buy them, they come in packages and they have they'll have a different resistance. So I recommend starting with a lighter resistance and then working your way up, okay? The first exercise we're going to do is, actually the first 2 are using these mini bands. So if you have one today, that's great. If you don't, you can definitely get one. You can do these exercises without the mini bands, but they really start to help as you build strength in your hips. They give resistance, and usually they come in a pack that has different tensions. So as you get stronger, then you take the next step up in tension and keep building on that hip strength, because that is the goal here today, okay? So we're gonna start with our feet are going to be parallel to each other, a little bend in your knees. If you put your hands at your hips, kind of like you had a glass of water, you're gonna tuck your hips slightly back so you'd be pouring that water out behind you. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. So it isn't like holding it there like a crunch, but drawing it in towards your spine so that you could still talk and carry on a conversation. What we're gonna do is we're going to take a lateral step, and then we're gonna come back, holding that tension in the band, and then take a step to the other side and come back. So take that step, go ahead, get going. We're gonna do 10 on each side. And if you don't have the band, what I want you to do is just do a very controlled step. If you keep your hands on your hips, you can feel your core muscles activating, okay? So these are really important to developing strength in our hips, okay? They are internal muscles that we don't always think about them. We don't always think about how we use them. And these small steps are very helpful in our overall strengthening through our hips, okay? All right, so that was, I think we're around 10 on each side. That's where we want to be. Go ahead and keep the band there. We're gonna do the next exercise, which if you want to use like a chair or a back of a couch or something, that can be helpful because we're gonna tilt slightly forward on this one. So we're just gonna start with one leg. I'm gonna have my left leg is planted there and my right leg is back, and just keeping that band right above your ankles still. I want you to activate your core, tilt forward slightly, and then my right leg is going to be straight. I'm going to press my right heel back and really squeeze my glutes to make that action happen in my leg. What you want to watch is that your feet stay parallel, so you don't have one foot tilting out, but you want to just press that heel straight back, squeeze your glutes, draw your belly in towards your spine. We're going to do that 10 times on one leg, and then we're going to switch to the other leg. Awesome. So it's kind of like your foot's just hovering over the floor and your ankle is pressing straight back behind you. Squeeze those glutes. Good job. Couple more and then we'll switch to the other side. Good. All right, now I'm standing on my right leg. Same thing, I'm gonna press forward just a little bit. If you don't have something, you can just put your hands on your hips and tilt forward slightly, and you're gonna press that left heel out behind you. But I like the chair. I'm not putting all my weight on the chair, but it's just helping me to lean forward slightly into this. Press that heel back. Squeeze your glutes. As you squeeze your glutes, think about using your core. Good. Awesome. Last one. Very good. Okay, I'm going to turn this chair around. And we are going to use a chair for one part of this today. Now, we think about our hip strength. We often think about our glutes, but our quads and our core are also really important and in our general movement. So anytime we have movement that comes from our hips, which is really all of our movement, that there is balance, that our core is strong and it can support that movement. So what I want you to do now is we're going to do some straight leg extensions, and we're going to with a leg raise. So we're going to extend one leg, bring that heel up, go back down, and then bring your knee or bring your foot back down to a 90-degree angle. And then you're going to switch to the other side, extend that leg, lift up slightly, back down, and then press your foot down. What you want to watch is that you're really using your core as you're doing this, okay? So one way you can do it is to notice is just don't use your core once, and extend your leg and bring it up and then back down, and then sit up nice and tall, draw your belly in towards your spine, extend your leg out, raise it up, and set it back down, okay? That I find is the best way to know that I am activating my core, is just don't use it and then use it. And then the other thing is, and you can probably see me doing it, is it's easy to have a tendency to want to like swing back as I'm extending that leg forward. So really try to be intentional to resist your body or your upper body going back, That is forcing our core to work. Very good. So about 8 to 10 on each side. Your quads might start getting a little bit tired. Just stick with it. Good. Okay, so there's round one. We're gonna do one more round. If this is your first time doing it and you haven't done hip strength training in a long time, what you might wanna do is come back maybe in a few hours and do the next round, okay? You can space it out through the day, which can be really helpful, especially if you have a job that you end up sitting a lot. If you can take some breaks throughout the day and do a round of these exercises in the morning, in the middle of the day, and then the afternoon, I think that really goes a long way to our overall strength, our overall mobility, as well as our overall activity. All right, so let's put that band back around our ankles, and we're gonna do our lateral steps again. Move my chair back a little bit here. Little bend in your knees, activate your core, step to the side, back, keeping tension in that band the whole time, keeping your hips nice and level to the ground. 8 to 10 of these on each side. Good. Very good. Okay. All right, so I moved through a little faster pace that time. One thing we want to do is we don't want to get our pace too fast so that we lose that like intentionality with the exercise, but it's okay to move through it a little bit faster as you get used to the exercise. Okay, now we're going to do these hip extensions. So standing up nice and tall, all the weight is on my left leg. I'm tilting forward slightly so I don't have a sway in my lower back. My right foot is gonna come off the ground and just kind of hover over the ground, pressing straight back, really thinking about squeezing that glute as you're extending that leg back. 8 to 10 of these. Good job. Couple more. Keep focusing on using your core. Keep focusing on using that glute muscle. Now we'll switch to the other side. All of our weight is on the right foot now, leaning forward slightly, pressing that left heel back. Feet are staying parallel, squeezing your glutes. Sometimes that band wants to come off. One. Oops, my band fell off on that one. If you order these bands, make sure you check the size of band that you're ordering. I ordered extra large, which is for someone much taller than me. So I'm 5'4", so I'm probably a medium-sized band would be much better. So yeah, learn sometimes in our online ordering. Okay, sitting up nice and tall, drawing your belly button in towards your spine, extend your leg, then bring your leg up, and then flex your leg at the knee again. Extend, squeeze those quads, and back down. We're gonna do 10 on each side. Job. Keep thinking about activating your core, Not letting your upper body lean back, really squeezing those quads as you raise that leg up in the air. Good job. Last one here. Okay, very good, very good. If you have done these exercises a few times, or if you've been doing this for a few weeks, go ahead and do some more. So to increase the challenge on it, add another round. So do 3 rounds. The other thing you would do once you add another round, go ahead and up the resistance on your band. All right, we're gonna finish up with 2 stretches today, okay? So the first one we're gonna do is, again, if you have a chair, I want you to step back. My right leg is stepping back, my left leg is forward, back heel is on the ground. I'm gonna tuck my hips under, then press forward through my hips, and then I'm gonna bring my right arm across my body, okay? So this really allows us to open up through the hip, get some stretch in through our hip flexors, in through our quads. And breathe in, breathe out. Make sure you get some oxygen in there as you're stretching. So you can repeat these stretches throughout the day. You can repeat the warm-ups throughout the day. However really it fits best for you. Let's go ahead and switch to the other side. My left heel is on the ground. My left leg is straight, tucking my hips under, activating my core, pressing both knees forward, and then bringing my left arm up and across my body, so I'm opening up on that left hip as much as I can. Very good. So I was saying spacing out through the day, even if every 15 minutes, you know, I don't know what the timing is like for your day, but if you can, have some kind of marker every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes, every hour, that you do a couple exercises, you do some stretches, maybe you get up and walk around a little bit, just to build that overall activity, that overall strength, that overall flexibility into your day. Very good. All right, the last one we're gonna do is a figure 4 stretch in the chair. So go ahead and have a seat, and I'm gonna sit forward in my chair just a little bit, starting with both feet on the ground, sitting straight up, drawing my belly in towards my spine. I'm gonna cross one ankle over the other knee, and this right here, you might feel this in your glutes, a stretch here. If you don't feel it too much, you can lean your upper body forward, still sitting up nice and tall. Lean your upper body forward to get a little more stretch through your hips. And if you look, your legs kind of end up forming a 4. And you can do this on the ground as well. If you're sitting on the ground, you can adopt this to be on the ground. Breathe into this. You want to lean into your stretch. You want to find that edge of where you find some resistance, but also you don't want to lean so far into it that you are in pain. But breathing in, stretching for around 30 seconds allows our muscles to get to the point where stretching really affects them and allows them to relax and release. So taking a few deep breaths is really a helpful thing to do. And you can always repeat these too. Okay, let's go ahead and switch to the other side. This is a great one. I love to do this one if I'm on an airplane or in a long car ride. So crossing that leg over, sitting up nice and tall, activate your core, draw your belly button in towards your spine, and press your shoulders forward. Keep that nice straight back, and you'll just feel a little more stretch through your glutes, through your hips. And do some breathing. Find that edge where it's a little bit of an uncomfortable stretch, but not a painful stretch. And just see if we can get those muscles to relax a little bit more. Very good, very good. this kind of strength training is something that we can do every day. So, you know, we see all kinds of different strength training. There's strength training where people are doing high intensity training, where they're doing really heavy weights, where we have stability training, which is great and really important. This kind of training is really important. We don't use a lot of weights with it. It's great because we can do it anywhere we go, because mostly it's body weight and some bands. But it's so crucial. It's so foundational. So even if you're doing other types of training, I encourage you to adapt some of these types of hip strengthening trainings into your everyday life. All right, have a great rest of your day. If you have any questions, let me know, and thanks for joining me today. See you soon.